Every person who has ever harmed you believed, in the moment they did it, that they were doing the right thing. This is not an excuse. It is an observation. And if you follow it to its conclusion, it changes everything about how you respond to the people who disappoint, betray, or infuriate you. Epictetus in Book I, Chapter 18 makes an argument that sounds, at first, like it is asking too much. He says, "Do not be angry at people who do wrong. They are not doing wrong because they are evil. They are doing wrong because they do not know any better. No one errs willingly." This is not a new idea, it goes back to Socrates. But Epictetus develops it in a way that is specifically aimed at your anger. Not at their behavior. At what happens inside you when their behavior lands. Think about the last person who made you genuinely angry. Not a small irritation, actual anger. What did they do? Now, did they do it because they correctly understood the situation fully, clearly, with all the facts, and chose harm anyway? Or did they do it because of some confusion in their understanding? Because of fear, or insecurity, or the belief that this was the right move? Because they were operating under a different set of values that, from where they stood, seemed correct? Epictetus says, always the second. Always. People steal because they believe that what they will gain is worth more than what they will lose, including their integrity, which they may not even recognize as something they are losing. People lie because they believe the lie will protect something they value. People are cruel because they have confused cruelty with strength, or because they are afraid, or because they were taught that this is how power works. They are wrong. But they are wrong in the way that someone who cannot see clearly is wrong. You do not get angry at a person for not seeing well. You recognize that something is wrong with their perception. This matters for your anger. Not for their behavior. Because anger directed at a person for not knowing what they do not know is misdirected. It is like being furious at someone for not speaking a language they were never taught. The fury tells you nothing about them. It tells you about your assumption that they should already know. What should replace the anger? Epictetus does not say nothing. He says, the appropriate response is the same one you would have toward anyone who is suffering from an error of judgment, something closer to pity, or to patience, and where the situation calls for it, correction. Not indulgence. Not passivity. If someone is doing something wrong and you can address it, you address it. But you address it from a different internal state, one that is trying to help rather than to punish, to correct rather than to wound. This is harder than anger. Anger is immediate and satisfying. The feeling that someone deserves your fury, that they have earned this reaction, is seductive. It feels like justice. But it is not justice. It is you using their confusion to feed your own emotional reaction. And it does not help them. And it costs you. The next time someone does something that pulls your anger, pause before you deliver it. Ask, what do they not understand? What confusion are they operating under? What would they have to believe, for this to have seemed like the right thing to do? You do not have to forgive instantly. You do not have to pretend it didn't happen. But if you can ask that question, really ask it, and try to answer it, something changes. The anger cools into something more useful. And you become, slightly, less at the mercy of what other people do not know. Subscribe to StoicForge for weekly episodes from the greatest minds in history. Ancient wisdom. Modern edge.
That was episode 4, Stop Punishing Others for Your Own Confusion. In episode 5, we ask, where is the good? And why are you looking in the wrong places? Subscribe to StoicForge. Ancient wisdom. Modern edge.